sure that most of you know the old story about the astronaut who went far out into space and was asked on his return whether he had been to heaven and seen God. And he said yes.
Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, non-binaries, and sentient artificial intelligence. Join us on this journey to find the others. Because no matter where we find ourselves in this multiverse, the act of existing is all too familiar.
Guys? Is anybody out there? Hello?
The mushroom has a tremendous problem-solving ability.
Herbs are good for everything.
As we look across this great expanse and stare at the stars, we can't help but be reminded these lights, though we're seeing them all at the same time, happened across a multi-billion-year delta. Some of those fires burned millions of years ago, some billions, but all of them happened so we could experience them in this one singular moment.
They called us scouts. They called us seekers. They called us Hoosier. But we were destined to question everything.
I don't know about you, but as for me, the question has already been answered. Should we be here? Yes.
Happy Friday, St. Louis. How y'all doing? This is Hoosier Sophisticate here on WGNU 920 AM. You stream us live at WGNU920am.com, Facebook Live, YouTube channel. Smash that subscribe button. Ring the bell. Mycelial Media.
Ring it!
Ring it. Thank you for joining us on this lovely journey. What a day it's been. Beautiful sun shining. Spring is here. Spring has sprung. It's got me sprung.
I'm still fired up.
What you fired up about?
420, remember that? We did the bicycle day last
Yeah, we
time.
celebrate 419 around here.
Yeah, we do.
It's just as important a day as us as 420 is to many out there.
420, big holiday. You know, we had that fantastic event over at the VFW.
It was really great.
Super cool. Tiffany Jones, George Nolan, Lyndall Fraker, and
Blake and Chris Haney.
And Chris Haney, Pitbull shirt almost. But wow, they called it Cannabis 101, but were they dropping some knowledge?
Well, and it was so interactive.
Oh my God.
People got to ask their questions. I mean, it
some
was
phenomenal interactions between Tiffany Jones. Shout out to the fella you brought, the fella she brought that was talking to the Peacemaker guys. Shout out to the Peacemaker guys. When he's like, "You're a big dude." I was dying. Craig and I, and it's hard to make us laugh. Yeah. We're the laugh makers.
Sure.
We make you laugh. You don't make us laugh.
Don't you dare
ever
make me laugh.
We have email contests. We have stuff I won't get into it now. But the Peacemaker, that guy, and then he started one of my favorite things that ever has happened. One, I was just watching Tiffany Jones just try to crawl kind of inside of herself and the guy was lovable as you can get. Like
he was having a good time.
Great energy. But then some gentleman stands up and says, I have a question. And he's kind of, not stuttering slow, but he was being
very calculated with what he was trying to ask.
Thank you.
For sure.
And so he's asking an in-depth question to Lyndall Fraker, who's at the head of the DHSS, who's not the head of the DHSS, but the head of the cannabis
rollout, basically. Yeah.
So he's trying to answer all the questions. A lot of these questions don't have answers yet, which kind of
brings up a point.
Took me back a little bit, but remember that. He goes, Tiffany's buddy stands up and says, I believe what he's trying to say is and just sat in that moment. And I was like,
You're a big fan of
I am
sitting in
a
it.
huge fan of that.
Steve
I was like,
loves-
sit in it, buddy. Sit in it. Everyone's hanging like.
On his next words.
Then he goes, I think he's trying to say he smokes a lot of pot. Too much pot. Too much. And this guy's like,
This guy's shaking his head like, no, this is not what I'm
I
saying.
don't know. And after he finally got done with his spiel, he goes, the guy with the microphone goes, oh, that was not what I was trying to say actually at all. And everyone's like, okay. And then Lyndall did a great job, just like, hey, moving right on, moving right along,
It's
baby.
phenomenal.
What a wealth of knowledge, even though we're still figuring everything out, Missouri. And it makes me mad to talk about your point.
Listen, so one of the things that I don't know, maybe I'm coming from the best of places here, and from the freest of places, the most libertarian of places. Understand that the language that was written in this bill was very all encompassing and kind of left a lot of questions to be answered. But I don't even know if I want to call them loopholes. But there are things that aren't defined. And look at me here, if you're watching online, there are things that aren't defined that we don't need to call to their attention just at this moment, ladies and gents. I know you're curious. It almost felt like at some points, some people were trying to outdo one another with the loopholes that they've thought for businesses and whatnot. And I'm sitting here like, nope, don't need to bring that up right now.
Yeah,
don't need to bring that up right now. Let's go ahead and dial it back a little bit.
Lyndall gives he's like the uncle who's kind of cool, kind of knows a little bit about the pot, but he's learning from us as much. I mean, the way he was so engaged with what Tiffany was saying about the endocannabinoid system and what Chris was saying, like, and obviously George.
Shout out to Chris, because Chris had a whole fitness thing planned. His computer crashes the night before, and I'm like, Chris, listen, here's the deal. I was like, you're not, you'd be well off to just tell your story. And he's like, I've already got it planned.
Got the
buddy.
house
there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
That's when I told you I went to Colorado. This is the 1 year anniversary. I think we went right after.
Today was the day you were at the conference.
Yeah. And I told you, like, you can hear about it and see it on these videos all day, even with the epilepsy. And then we got to meet Robbie Basil and Stephanie Tufts, and it made things real for us.
Sure.
Going to Colorado and seeing guys who are Chris Haney, if you could chisel him out of marble.
Out of marble. Yeah.
Yes, that's what you'd create. And to have him be vulnerable enough to be up there and say, hey, man, this is a life-changing plant. But not only is cannabis a life-changing plant, look at all these other plant medicines that we could possibly get into. Look at, cannabis is not a catch-all for everything, okay, guys? It's something that can help us get to a level to where we can get help.
It's just a tool in the belt.
Yes. And he was awesome at explaining that, because sometimes I feel like we get wrapped up saying, cannabis, hey, fixed you. All right, moving on. Like, that's not it.
And that's something that Project 422 definitely wants to call to attention as well, is that, while cannabis can be a tool in the belt, there's a whole number of things that can just help give veterans that sense of community here back home that makes life a little bit more worth living. And Chris was very, very good about talking, hey, let's get some jujitsu rolling. We're trying, that's something that 422, if you guys want to reach out, project422.org. They're looking for people that, what are you into? You into mushroom foraging? You going out looking for morels or something? Let's put together a group of veterans.
Only on Friday and Saturday nights, if you know what I mean. I'll forage a bunch of mushrooms.
But there's, whatever that event might be, find something fun. I think that giving a sense of community to our veterans that have come back home, giving them that camaraderie that maybe they're just yearning for from being overseas, because that's what you got, right? Seth, you can speak on this better than any of us. Like, you got your buds, right? You got your buds in the barracks.
Oh, we have forgotten about each other, and it's for the best. I don't want to be around any of those guys. No, I'm okay. We keep in touch.
But I guess what I'm saying is coming back from overseas, coming back from having that very structured life. What's the hardest thing about reacclimating to society, to everyday life here?
Wow. Well, you definitely have the just overall culture shock.
Yeah.
And like the camaraderie, like honestly, towards the end, we were like, couldn't wait to get away from each other. We're crammed in a tent for a year.
Sure.
In very stressful situations. And we love each other just so much, but we can't wait. And I believe it might have been Wiscombe, actually. It was either Wiscombe or our friend Berlin. We were sitting there chowing down one night at the mess hall, like just a couple weeks left. And one of them, I forgot, goes, I like you guys, but I can't wait to not see you for a little while.
No doubt.
I can't wait to get out of that tent.
I get it.
That tent that smells like sweaty socks all the time.
Yeah.
And chewing tobacco.
I remember something that you said, when we first maybe started the show about a year ago, that you, sometimes the helicopter noises and stuff like that, it would almost help you sleep. Like the lack of some of the noises kind of was like
we for the last like 7 months, I think it was, we lived at Camp Stryker right next to where Saddam's old airfield, which we utilized.
You bathed in his pool, didn't you? Or?
No, nothing like that. We walked around the palace and checked it out, but we couldn't like go in or anything. Like it's like considered a U.S. like government building and stuff now. They're having big important
Look
meetings.
at this, guys. We found an embassy.
Yeah, we'll just set up shop.
Sweet.
This will do nicely.
They just set this up for us.
It's got a lake.
It's like a fortress palace.
They're like, fun fact about the lake. He's took all of his people's water to build his private lakes. Like, okay, you want to give it back since he's
Seth's
dead now?
Seth's laying it like, I get it. Is this potable drinking water? I get it.
No, but you're right. We'd hear helicopters fly over all the time.
Yeah.
And when you come home, it's just that it's dead quiet. You're just laying in bed. You're just,
Yeah.
it's like, I need that noise. And then another thing was traffic. Being stuck in traffic was very weird. Because you hadn't been inside of a vehicle by yourself in a year. You haven't been inside of a vehicle without armor and your body armor and your weapon and a radio and everybody there with you and scanning, controlling traffic. Did I tell the story about the road flare? The pop flare?
I think so. You can give us a quick rundown of that, though.
I think I did it on the podcast a while back. Well, yeah, like I said, we used to control traffic, and it was very weird getting used to, driving again by yourself out in traffic. And one day, actually, we were driving up a highway going north towards a town called Mama Dia. We lived right outside there at Camp St.
Mama Dia, here I go again. My.
Yeah, we'd sing that every night before bed.
What a battle cry.
We had this van come right up on us. I was the rear vehicle, as in the lieutenant's truck, and I was in
a Humvee.
I believe I was in an MRAP this time. Yeah, I was in an MRAP, and I'm up there in the turret, like waving. The first we just wave a flag, we point a weapon, we do anything we can to back them off, and the lieutenant's like, "Hey, get that."
You're pointing at your gun like, "Hey, moron!" Like,
yeah, I had a 50 cal and a shotgun, and I'm like, I could totally ruin everything about you.
Every day, pretty bad.
I'm your nightmare, and you just don't know. So he's like, "Get him off our tail here, Gunner," and I'm like, "All right, sir." And I reach down, I pull out this pop flare. This thing's like 12 to 14 inches long, this metal tube. I'm hanging off outside the turret, driving down the highway, reading the instructions. I'm like, this ought to work. It turns out you can't actually aim them. They're supposed to go straight up in the air to signal people. So if you try to aim them, the flares kind of take the path of least resistance. And if it has none, it just does whatever.
Yeah.
So you take it and you have to hit the primer on the back, kind of like a firing pin hitting the primer on a bullet.
Sure.
What do you hit it with?
Well, you take the cap off, and there's a pin inside the cap, and you put the cap on the back of it.
Okay.
And you pop it. So I'm like, this ought to work. I hold it up. This thing just shoots and spirals, goes way over the van, hits the car behind him, and you hear, boof! And like all these cars are slamming on their brakes, and there's like, it looks like a giant firework, just sparks flying through the air. And then the van also slowed down. He's like, I don't know what the hell that was.
Mission accomplished.
Lieutenant, he hits on we're wearing headsets. He goes, "Gunner, what's going on back there?" I'm like, the van stopped. He goes, "Nah, good enough for me."
Yeah, good job. It's like a scene from Dumb and Dumber where he's like, "You're more likely to get killed on the way to the airport."
Big explosion.
Yeah, he's just rolling because he doesn't have he has a rear view mirror on the side there, but you can't really see too well. And I was like, "Well, you said to get rid of him. He's gone."
God, that is amazing.
So isn't like the next 100 feet of traffic. They're gone too.
Now they use those for that. After Seth did that, that's like road flare now. They call them. That's pretty amazing.
It's part of the standard operating procedure now.
But yeah, the VFW event was friggin' awesome.
It was great, man. There was a lot of veterans out there. There's a really nice spread of ages. A lot of middle age and up people. There were some even, I would even say, some elderly that were there interested in the information. Just what a world we live in. We sit at the VFW. We have Missouri state officials talking to us about what the medical cannabis market's going to look like here in Missouri. There were a lot of awesome, curious people. George Nolan, man, I feel like I'm a green thumb now, just listening to him talk.
I know.
He made it sound like
wealth.
anybody can do it. The guy's a genius. He's
He
a
is.
wealth of knowledge. He's a brilliant dude. I'm glad he's on. I was sitting there at the table, and I'll give you the
Inside scoop.
PG-13 version. But
Okay.
I was just sitting there scanning the room, and I think George was up there on stage talking. Shout out to my guy Peter C. He walks in. Tiffany Jones is talking. Blake. All of our friends are putting this thing on and just dropping cannabis knowledge. And I'm like, man, I got some cool friends, man.
Yeah.
You know, like I got some friends that this is as cool as it gets. I'm running with the cools, baby.
Hey, just don't forget who introduced you
T-Birds and Pink Ladies.
to all the cools. This guy.
You introduced me to nobody.
This guy right here. You're welcome,
You've
Craig.
done nothing for me.
This is what you meant by that. I got to say what's up to Manchild, listening to the show, Scotty C, Jennifer B. Oh, my. Tiffany's listening to the show. We got a lot. We had a ton of fan interaction last time. We got a ton of fan interaction this time. We gave a bottle of Momed Canco vape juice out to our boy. Yeah, it was phenomenal. Can't wait to get it to him. Michael Brooker. So we got things. The interactions have been amazing. We had a little bit of a showtime. You can catch us on Mycelial Media on our YouTube page. That's been blown up. Got a couple blues videos on there.
Totally. If you guys are in for this blues thing, because I am.
Let's get into about 10, 15 minutes of blues.
Can we do that before break?
I
got some blues talk.
I love. Let me preface this with, on the changing station, we would do Craig Kohler, non-hockey guy. And he would have a few simple takes on hockey, like, oh, yeah, got to muck it up and get in the dirty areas. And
got to have
the
four lines banging.
Pinch in. Yeah.
4 lines banging.
He wasn't wrong. But he's picked up, from general knowledge over the years, like you're saying, playing video games. You kind of get a little bit of the
Played
knowledge.
street hockey as a kid, loved it,
He didn't care too much. He's on board now.
On board. First off, I got to address all of you people in St. Louis who were losing your collective minds yesterday.
What was that? I'm with you.
The game. It's 2019, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah, I remember.
If NBC isn't showing up on Charter or on AT&T or wherever you watch TV, you have the internet. I had a French feed. I had an English feed. I had the Blues home feed. I had the Stars home feed.
They're
the
the same right now.
The Italian feed.
They
I had them all.
They don't do our home in a way now. I
I had them all because they're all national feed.
Yeah,
right
they're
now.
all
We don't
Was
even
the
have
Italian
he-
feed, or were the commentators like, the Blues ahead of the puck, so the goal, yes, the spicy meatballs.
Azul. The kid
I think it's blue.
Oh, come to your house, I'll
Yeah.
break your shins.
All of our Italian American friends, look forward to your apology next week. Guys, it's 2019. There are 1,000 places that you can
I was
stream this
upset about that
information.
too.
It's ridiculous.
On Facebook,
You missed the whole first period, did you? You missed Robbie
they
Fabry?
did.
You missed
missed your
Robbie
period?
Fabry? Tickle the old onion bag, did you?
Yeah, they missed that.
They missed it.
Oh, they went to
'Cause
overtime.
They went over to the other game.
Oh, I was wondering what the big hubbub
I
was
feel
about.
sorry for you. I cut my cord like 7 years ago. I
ain't trying to
don't
tell
get
you
it.
how I do things on the radio.
But come on,
but
Google something.
shit. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I put in the work.
Brings me to my
figure
next point. Listen, I am so proud of my city and where I'm from and where I hail. And I think when you go down to the Grove, and you
Springfield,
get down-
Missouri.
you get down in yeah, Springfield too. Because I'll tell you what, if they were putting on a hockey game, guys, we gotta listen. This team has got it. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. I used to laugh at my friends. I used to laugh at them every time they got excited about Blues hockey. It would. I mean, I'm talking belly laughs like you're a Cubs fan and don't even know it kind of laugh. I don't know why it got my rocks off, but it did. Okay. So here's the deal.
Just be careful there, Craig.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So this Blues team has got it. They got that thing. When they show the clubhouse, when they show them on the bench, when they show Berube's the kind of coach that'll get a bunch of guys that like no coach can quite figure out. Berube's the guy that's like, here's the deal. We're going to start winning hockey games or I'm going to punch you in your face. I like it. I'm a fan. He's old school. I dig it. They're having fun. They're hooting and hollering. It's great. This team has got what it takes to win a cup. I truly, firmly believe that just by looking at other championship teams from other sports. Clubhouses just have that thing. You got to have clubhouse guys. This team has it in spades. They're having fun. It's great. Okay, here's the problem. Guys, this is St. Louis. The Grove is awesome. Midtown's awesome. There's all these great little neighborhoods down Cherokee. There's all these hip spots. The greatest, I mean, just an art scene that is overflowing, a music scene that is overflowing with talent. For per capita, we have some of the most creative minds making a really cool place out of our city. If you ignore all of those ridiculous Our Town articles that are always talking about picking out the little bad stuff here and there, if they would write half as many of all the cool things that are going, people would have a totally different perspective of this city. And then you turn on a blues pregame.
Where did you come from? Where did you go?
You got to help me understand this, guys. They spend $100,000 on this video board. It's cool, right? It's cool. When they were talking about putting a $100,000 video board, I'm like, oh man, let me tell you something. 5 years ago, the Habs. Now I get it. The Habs, they set the standard for hockey. The Montreal Canadiens, sure, they have more championships than any other professional sports franchise. They're the jam.
They got more than like the Lakers and Celtics
and the Yankees. And I mean,
really?
Oh, dude. Yeah. Like almost like it's a bunch. I think they got like 32, something like that. It's a bunch.
Yeah, okay.
5 years ago, 2014, they're in the playoffs. They did this pregame where they projected it onto the ice. This is 5 years ago. We're in 2019 now. We're putting little LED bracelets on kids and strobe lights while we play Aerosmith's Dream On. Does KC have rights? Can we do so? What is the deal with Take Me Home, Country Roads, West Virginia? We're nowhere near coal country. We're nowhere near it. Why are we singing John Denver? We have people like Chuck Berry and the Ozark Mountain Daredevils. And I mean, Scott Joplin, for Christ's sake. I mean, there's songs that are St. Louis centric. Put some Nelly on the thing. I don't care. Why are we singing John Denver? Why? It's ridiculous.
John Sunshine on my shoulders.
Darn shoulders, Denver. You got it.
Finished?
I don't know. It's terrible. Somebody was like, man, that light show was amazing. Like, yeah, I went to Point Fest in 1997 too. It was really cool.
Do you know where you live?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
I live in Hillsboro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know where you're from?
South City, baby.
I know.
He'll break your mouth.
And I get it.
We're the show me state, buddy.
Feel
hey,
like
Montreal, show me what's
I feel
a cool
like it's
thing.
Listen, they're
show me 7. I'll show
they
you
are
8.
appealing with their music, with their in-game. They're appealing to our dads. They're appealing to that generation of like REO. I want to hear some REO Speedwagon. Like
Thunderstruck.
You know it. Yes, AC/DC Thunderstruck. Never heard that one before a sports game before. Oh, what are you going to hit me with
all
next?
new music?
Welcome to the jungle.
You got to have all brand new.
Just give me something
music.
that's a little bit,
Well, give me a taste of what you're. Hey, Craig Kohler, I'm pulling you out of the stands. Our DJ just had a seizure.
Oh man,
I need
pour
5
some
songs.
sugar on me.
I need 5 songs from you that are super unique, that are gonna get this crowd going. And if you don't do it, the Blues might lose. What are your 5? Give me 3. Give me 1. Give me 1 to 3 songs.
Listen, right now, better than Country Roads. Better than that, you give me Ozark Mountain Daredevils. Raise a Little Hell. If that whole crowd starts singing, if you want to get to heaven, you got to raise a little hell. You want to go a little old school 70s. Get some Ozark Mountain Daredevils in there.
That's gonna
that's the crowd. Dude, yes, you get a little Jew harp going. Like,
I'm not saying that's not. I'm not saying that's not a bad choice.
No, it's a hopping choice. That place would be.
It's not a hopping choice.
Give me some Missouri, baby.
I would have said maybe you went with Crocodile Rock. I could see maybe people getting
great. Give me Benny and the
Crocodile
Jets.
Rock.
Give me Benny and the Jets.
EJ?
Give me something.
They would sing that. Here,
They would sing Benny and the Jets.
Do you want to hear what I believe is the origin story of the singing?
Sure.
The only time I've ever heard the crowd finish singing songs. And you got to put yourself in the shoes of the person who's up there controlling all the stuff. You're throwing stuff out there, baby.
They're not.
You're throwing pickles at a wall. Yeah, you are.
They got a drop board.
You don't know what
the
these
same
people want.
7 songs.
22,000 different
like
people.
Put on like Captain and Tennille. Let's go play some hockey.
It's 22,000 just very unique individuals at a hockey game. Okay. All
Clearly
different demographics.
Clearly not, because they're only playing the Memorial Day 500.
You've been there. The demographics are insane.
Oh,
it's
dude,
like
people of all colors.
Like a market in New York City.
I will tell you this. I don't know. I know that like they cut down on promotional products and like radio and TV advertising. But if cigarette companies can still advertise with the NHL, they would make a killing. No, I think if they could at the Enterprise Center. Because like when intermission comes,
Oh yeah,
that whole
there's a
place
mass
empties
exit.
out
Dang
and
right,
fits
baby.
into a square that's about this big.
We all go smoke
and
out
they
there.
go
What?
burn heaters.
Yeah,
St.
what?
Louis.
And what? Sneak my friends up in the game.
You guys hear that
My
John
friends up in
Denver
the
track?
game. Okay,
Did you hear
so-
John Denver?
Origin.
Dang!
Origin.
It's awful.
When my dad took me to a game, shout out to Poppy George.
Hi, Poppy George.
Against Philadelphia, we scored 5 goals in the first period. I've never heard us sing songs before. That night, I maybe even mentioned it, that they sang when we scored 5 goals in the first period. Everyone was just walking on sunshine, baby. It was just any song that would have came on. They sang Smash Mouth. Hey
I
now, you're an all-star. Everybody's like, get on. And I even 5 goals, I was in it. All that
That's what I'm
glitters is gold.
That's
All the
crazy.
old
Like
ladies, that's it.
when you're in a really good mood and you hear a song normally
Thank
you'd
you.
hate, and all of a sudden you just start
I'm
singing
not a
it.
huge fan of it.
Hashtag optics. It makes us look like the lamest.
To who? The world? You worried about what people think about you, bro?
I'm not worried about what
You
people,
are.
I am proud of my city. I don't listen.
He's worried about what people think
what they're
about him.
playing at the hockey game that I just went to for the first time last year in my 34 and a half years on this earth. Believe me, my music tastes aren't tied to whoever is in charge of that hype machine, because nothing makes me want to throw the gloves quite like Pat Benatar. Come on.
We are young.
I don't know what you want because you.
Little bit of plant.
Oh, yeah. All right, that's good. We good.
Got to raise a little hell.
Everyone's in their seats, like,
Dude, no way. You would have
Good.
it would become a hoot name so bad.
Craig,
People-
no. You're so eclectic with your music. No one would ever do that. Ever. No one. What are you trying to say we are? What are you trying to say we are? Winnipeg? We're not Winnipeg.
Can we be
okay?
somebody?
We are somebody. We're the
Dude,
show me stage. Show me
we're
what's
not-
cool.
We're
We'll do
showing
it.
people like
Listen,
they're like, okay, listen.
they
Oh,
sang
what-
lit.
what
they
they play-
sang lit that night. They sang
Please tell
me why. The whole crowd sang it.
1996.
Great.
There's
You hate
so
old
many-
music?
No, 96. One of my favorite years. for
Craig's like,
music.
hey, let's listen to this Dutch band I just heard about. They haven't released a full title album yet, but they got these 4 underground songs that are really jammers. Can we play those at the game?
Everything's-
That way, 4 people in there will be like, all right,
Everything's all jammed
it's an
up.
art house.
Listen.
This is a new art exhibit.
when our intro plays and that little reggae vibe pops, what happens?
That was
What
me.
happens? Everybody's like, okay,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
I'd play our song all day there.
There's so many.
You're
you
Steven
can-
Jackson.
you
You're
can-
the Steven Jackson of St. Louis.
Hall of Famer.
You're the Steven
Hall of
Jackson
Famer.
of AM radio.
Steven, listen, all the hype machine's got it needs a little read. I mean, 96, there was so many great tunes that came out in 96. You're gonna give me lit. I mean, I love lit. I love the song. It's a great song. But like every game, come on, man.
Here's what. Okay. See, ACDC will fight. Did you see yourself? Did you see him? You couldn't help yourself. ACDC came on. He was like, I'm
AC/DC.
going down.
This is
AC/DC.
real radio.
I'm gonna go on the record and say AC/DC is garbage.
Oh, whatever.
I cannot
don't care.
stand that band.
I don't care.
I think they're so
guys,
boring.
Let me break it down for you. We're up against it.
We are up against it.
Let me break it down for you. The way this team is making the diehard fans feel, and I don't want to get too much into it, but there's a different sense about this team as far as there's really zero panic as far as the players go. I feel like the players don't even care.
I get it.
So as far as a fan goes, I don't care. I hate Cotton Eye Joe. Hate it. Ever since 7th grade resurrection mixers, probably, if they were, as soon as they could play Cotton Eye Joe at a dance, they played Cotton Eye Joe at a dance. I don't
hear
know
you.
when that
And
was.
I don't know how to dance
and it
to
was
it.
bad.
I don't know how to
You
dance
go,
to
you
it.
go hard. You go hard. That's what you do. And then, so I'll look, but when you're up and you're winning and you're feeling good and everything kind of feels different, because I said Craig's going through 20 years of blues fans' emotions. We know about the music. We know how frustrating it is. Craig texts me and he's like, what are these clowns doing? Get some shots on goal. I'm like, I know.
I just come on.
Yeah, and it's such a beautiful thing to see this guy
I'm in.
fired up
I'm in.
about the
I'm
Blues.
in.
Fire up, St. Louis. It's our city.
I'm in.
Let's get it.
Put on a little ditty and let's kick these shoes around a little bit.
I get hot, boys.
Listen, I get
Gotta
the Laura
catch a
Branigan
number.
thing. I get it. I get Gloria.
You know the story?
Yes, I know the story.
Beautiful story.
I get it. If you don't know the story, go check it out. Basically, they were at a bar in Philly, and these bartenders were trying to get them loaded so they could bet the Flyers.
Yep.
That is Philly in a nutshell. If you've ever been to Philadelphia, it's one of the greatest cities in the area. I get that. I like the idea of around a couple years ago. Josh Reddick for the A's, his walk-up music, "Careless Whisper," one of my favorite things. Like I like ironic music. Let's put away the jock jams. Let's just put away the jock jams. Okay?
Pull
my chains. What a rock and roll all night. Come on.
That's Kiss? Now you're going to poop on Kiss?
Dude,
Kiss is garbage.
If you played in a CYC basketball tournament in 1997, the Jock Jams Volume 1 was playing in every South City gym there ever was. It's 2019, baby.
Can you play some Hoosier live from a cafe?
He wasn't even born yet.
We got
we got to go to break.
Hey, our newest sponsor. I want to talk about Rose Extermination real quick, and spiders and some mice. Oh yeah, spiders and some mice. Spiders and some mice. Oh boy. All right, and we got Truman's. We'll talk a little bit more about him later. But Brad Pack from Truman's says they should play Islamic prayer songs.
Totally.
That really gets my D jumping.
Give me the Gypsy
Enterprise.
Kings. You give me the Gypsy Kings. We get a little bit of Bambaleo going on. We get that Bambaleo. Now we got something.
Seth is so disgusted with.
We got a
the
great
show.
song. If I had to pump that crowd up,
What would you do?
White Zombie, Thunder Kiss 65.
Great.
That would tell me that place wouldn't blow up.
I like that.
And nobody knows the lyrics. Like, I
would even do
And that
Little
would be
Dead
it.
Girl. What's the name of that song? I'm sorry.
oh,
Living
you
Dead
just
Girl.
ruined everything.
Why? You don't like that
Rob
song?
Zombie by himself, his album was
I'm a fan.
trash.
Guys, we got to go to break. We're way past it. All right. This first part of this first hour is brought to you by James Carlton State Farm. He's the best State Farm agent, best insurance agent in the game. He's going to make your life better. He's going to insure all of the things that mean something to you, including your life, so that you don't leave your family out on a limb when you meet your impending doom. Call James Carlton, 314-961-4800. This is Hoosier Sophisticate. We're on WGNU. Stick around. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk about some more stuff. You can get an insurance quote anywhere. What people are really looking for is someone to help manage the risk of everyday life. And that's exactly what James Carlton State Farm does. He's also dangerously handsome. He has a dream in his eyes.
James Carlton has the best customer service in the game. You'll never get a voicemail, and you'll always get a great back rub.
He has the softest hands. A strong sense of community is important to who he is as an agent. From local school sponsorships to sandbagging during floods, it's paramount to be a part of the community. We love the cut of his jib.
Guys, call 314-961-4800. Find him online at carltoninsurance.net.
We wish he was our dad.
Lifetime.
Jill.
It lasts a lifetime.
Come on.
It lasts a lifetime.
Yeah.
And just go Google it.
I wanna let those shingles down, girl, for you. I wanna let those shingles down, boy, for you. I'm gonna do some siding, get you excited. James Hardy siding.
Google it.
For a lifetime. You know I make your neighbors cry. Boo, boo. Cause we tell all the leaks go bye. And you know we all do the side. James Hardy, boy, dear.
Guys, Lifetime Roofing. They're the best roofers in the game. Best customer service. LifetimeSTL.com. Google them.
Hey there, Krager.
Well, hey, Steve.
How you doing, buddy?
Man, I've been pretty good.
Well, that's good. Hey, you heard anything about them newfangled hemp oils they got now?
I just don't know where to find a good one.
Well, I find the best full spectrum hemp oil from MoMedCanco.com.
Where?
I get it from MomedCanco.com.
Is it expensive?
It don't cost 2 kittens whiskers. And if you enter HOSO in the promo box, you're going to get yourself 15% off.
Buddy, it sounds like we're squatting tall cotton.
Darn right we are.
Where can I find them?
You can find them online, MomedCanco.com, Missouri Medical Cannabis Company.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah.
Dear Vet Ticks, it was nice to spend the night with my daughter and other veterans. It's so humbling to attend an event when you feel appreciated.
I had a wonderful time with my family. Thank you for the memories, Vet Ticks.
Dear Vet Ticks, thank you for a great experience and for your support of the military and veterans.
Thank you so much, Vet Ticks. Our family has gone through a lot the last few years, and this gave us a nice break.
Every empty seat at a concert, game, or special event is a missed opportunity to say thank you to a veteran or a service member. By giving your extra tickets to Vet Ticks, you'll help America's heroes reduce stress, strengthen family bonds, and create a truly happy memory that will last a lifetime. So when you really want to say thank you for your service, give the experience, give the memory. Vet Ticks. Give something to those who gave. For more information on how you can make a difference, go to vettix.org.
Hey Hoosiers, Craig Kohler here. With home buying season heating up, be sure to get a quote from a top agency and provider of the #1 home insurer in North America. They offer coverage that's second to none. In fact, if your AC goes out, they offer a new endorsement where you can get a replacement from a local HVAC company. Give them a call, 314-961-4800. If you get a machine and you don't talk to a person, we'll give you one of these fine Hoosier Sophisticate tees. Just takes one phone call or apply online at carltoninsurance.net. People do business with James because they like and trust him. Just check him out on Google and Facebook. If your insurance is costing you a leg and an arm, then call James Carlton State Farm.
Did you just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You know, you're flying down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. Turn it off. Trust me, whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextsstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
WGNU is streaming live on WGNU920am.com. Click on Listen Live to satisfy your Audible needs or watch live to see all those faces for radio in action. You can also listen to past shows, featured interviews, and download the free WGNU phone app. You can take us everywhere you go. WGNU920am.com. Point, click, and listen live.
Push away the paperwork and catch up on your sports every day at noon with the Brian Stoll Show.
The commissioner of the XFL, Oliver Luck, with us here.
I think we can do better than that in St. Louis, quite honestly, given the passion that exists there and the demand that I think will exist there, and the fact that I feel really strongly and very confident that we can put a really good product in the field that folks will say, "Wow, this is fun."
That's the Brian Stoll Show. Weekdays at noon on WGNU 920 AM.
No need for the bride to feel tragic. The rest is push-button magic. So whether you bake or broil or stew, the Frigidaire kitchen does it all for you. My cake is ready.
Toads have been found which do secrete DMT-like compounds. There are many chemical compounds in nature which are psychoactive, but a much narrower spectrum of these compounds are truly what we call psychedelic or mind manifesting.
Let's take a trip, St. Louis, with Hoosier Sophisticate Radio, presented by Mycelio Media. Now we're throwing it back to Stephen Elgin and Craig Kohler. Now water your brain and watch it grow, 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 grow,
grow. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Hoosier Sophisticate here on WGNU 920 AM.
How much do you love Seth and Integrity? Integrity's here.
Integrity is in the building.
Integrity in the building.
How much do you love them?
I can't put it in words. I can't quantify it with the English language. It is not sufficient, my friend.
Guys, we love all of you. For real. You making all of our dreams come true. Go follow your own dreams. Like, for real. What are you doing right now watching us?
Don't
Go
let
out there.
Steve squash your dreams
Yeah,
just
go
because
do
he
your
thinks
thing.
it's all about him all the time. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Guys, this whole presentation is brought to you by Missouri Medical Cannabis Company.
MomedCanco.com.
Check out MomedCanco.com. Enter HOSO at checkout for 15% off everything site-wide. Right now, they got a deal going. If you buy 2 bottles of any one thing, if you enter the code BUY2 with a capital B and the number 2, capital B-U-Y, number 2, you will get a 3rd bottle
Is that
free.
B-U-N-Y, all capital?
Nope, just the B's, caps.
Capital B.
You got it.
Lowercase U-Y, space bar.
No space bar.
No space bar.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Got that?
Simple.
You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to work for that
It's
3rd bottle.
simple.
MomedCanco.com. They make this whole show possible. Great sponsors. We love them.
Craig, I want to talk about 2 other sponsors again, real quick. Truman's in Soulard. Guys, check it out. Amazing place. They helped us do a live show with the Changing Station.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful events of our lives.
We robed it. We robed it up.
We had robes.
We should probably do that again.
We're
robing.
100%.
That's when me and Craig met. He was wearing a robe.
I was wearing a kimono. Dog.
Listen,
It's
listen, dog.
me, you, Plowsy, Iggy, and Craig. And Joe Ham, of course.
Oh, and intern Tim Howard, who fell asleep on the table.
Yeah, I walk up, he just
wasted.
Yeah,
here we go. Way go.
We were watching the Blues game. I had a massive diarrhea attack. In the
Were we
middle
playing
of
the Stars
show.
at the time?
No, I don't want to. I don't. No,
maybe it was Nash.
I forget who it was. They dispatched us, I think, though, that year.
Nash, I think.
Yeah, I think Minnesota.
Yeah.
So anyway, we had a good old time. Truman's in Soulard. Everyone's like, "Whoa, we want a place to eat." We were Parlor for a while, and then they had the little nugget shit. We love our Parlor. We love our Tower Classic. We're gonna have another tattoo day. But Truman's in Soulard. Brad Packer, the guy who runs it, him and Danny Packer,
He gets it.
2 of the most beautiful men. We're finding all these beautiful people in the community, and we're all gelling and meshing, and we're making things happen. And you guys are all part of. You guys are like these little fingers coming over, and you guys are like, "Oh, here we go." And
Can I get my tendrils in?
I'm look at these. And so we got them and Rose Extermination. Spiders and some mice. Oh yeah, spiders and some mice. Spiders and some mice. Spiders and some mice. Spiders and mice. They were our
Guys,
original
the ants are
sponsor.
coming. The ants are coming.
I had some today on my
Ants are
windowsill.
coming. The termites are coming. They're all coming for you. The existential cockroaches are coming.
Oh, Craig, if you haven't checked our sophisticated Hoosiers Facebook page, the fan page, Craig did it's a beautiful job with the cockroach suit. Brought to you by Rose Extermination, 314-845-6101. My mom works there. Call the number. You're probably going to talk to Betty Elgin, one of the most awesome people that has ever been bore. And she is my mom, and you ask her for the Cucky special. And
You
she knows
have
exactly.
to ask for the Cucky special.
She knows what you're talking about.
An actual business has something called the Cucky Special, and,
And-
your mom works there,
And they've been serving it for quite a while.
I'll bet
For years.
People been
For years.
getting the Cucky, getting cucked with those roaches. Hey, your first ever interview was your mom.
Yep.
Remember that? That was great.
How do you remember?
I remember the first show ever. I was like, this is so exciting.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
I don't know why.
We should clear up.
I don't know why, but I couldn't listen online. I don't know if maybe my internet was. I don't remember why, but I went outside 3 stories down, walked across the parking lot, sat in my car, and listened to the whole show. And I
Look at you
remember my
go.
favorite part of the show is when you asked your mom who was better in bed, your stepdad or your real dad. And she goes, I'm not answering that. And I was like, this is the best show. I go, I am gonna produce for this guy one day.
And she thought I was going to have softballs.
I decided then and there I was going to produce a show with you one day.
A super sleuth would be able to look into that answer and know what the answer was because she has nothing to gain by
Believe me.
not saying the man that she's currently married to. So, hey, shout out to you, Georgia Pooh. I see you working, baby. I see you working. I do want to clarify. Truman's Place is Truman's Place in Soulard. There are 2 locations. So get down to Soulard. We're going to have we'll have some after parties there. Speaking of parties, next week it's been a year, baby. It's been a year. It's been a blast. It's been a year. Integrity, I can't believe I've known you for a year. I feel like I've known you my whole life. You just get me. Down at the Spanish Society, guys. Southside. Get on down to Spanish Society next Friday night. It's free entry. Come on down. We're going to do some karaoke. We'll play some games, do a little dancing, make a little love. We're going to get down tonight and that night.
Get down tonight. Get down tonight. Oh, God. Listen, we can do whatever. The Spanish Society is an embassy for the Southside Hoosier.
Yeah. Actually, Julian Assange is there right now.
I wish.
I know.
Wouldn't that be
It would
awesome?
be great if he was holed up at the
Let's see
Spanish
if he wants
side.
to come out.
Little Spanish embassy.
Then he's being too much of a see you next Tuesday, and we'll kick him out of town.
That's right. So actually, Seth decided that he wants to cook up some food for everybody there.
Ew.
Tell him
We're
about it, Seth.
yum.
We're gonna have Hoosier hot wings and sophisticated shrimps.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's gonna be tasty.
We should do
All
yeah,
proceeds go to us.
That's gonna be fun, really
Because
delicious.
we deserve that now and then, too.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Help us out. It's free entry for the
Jeez.
love of Pete.
But beers
All
are
the
gonna-
proceeds go to the Mycelial Media account, and we are gonna.
we don't have to tell them that.
Yeah, they don't need to know
We are
what
going to
we're
have a
doing.
fun
That's inside
summer,
baseball. That's
but
inside
we're gonna
baseball.
we have good ideas, but they're expensive ideas.
We are going to have a fun summer. We're going to go down July 19th to the 21st. We're going to go to the Cotillion. I feel like this whole hour is just commercials, and we're just going to lay it on you.
No, these are events. This is great.
Hoosier Cotillion, July 19th to the 21st. Get the coughing under control if you want to buy tickets.
Password. It's a costume party Saturday night, correct?
Yes, sir. Right after the
Saturday
float.
night is going to be a costume party. And when I say costume party, I mean somehow morph yourself completely into a different being.
Let your freak flag fly.
This guy's costume that he showed me.
Daddy's ready to play.
I think you should just wear that.
I'm thinking about wearing it every Friday
This is
night.
his costume. This
Yes.
is your
No,
costume.
That's when I go home. Yeah,
Yes.
that's when I go home. It's like there's actually going to be some regalia and everything. People are going to be like trumpets. It's going to be great.
Listen.
You guys are going to love it. Come on, like let's just get weird. Let's get weird. I think right now we've got around 36 people that are in.
And that's a
good
good
old
time. That
I've
costs-
got quite the campsite set up.
That's
for
not
us.
coming though.
I won't be there. You know why? Because everybody keeps talking smack. They can't just let me be. They go, yeah, bitch, it's not going to be there.
I
It's
know
gonna be there.
who you
You
are,
have
Seth.
to be there. If you're not there, you're a jerk. So you know what? Because I'm such a nonconformist, I've decided I'm not going just because of that.
I
But
appreciate it.
But his cousin Meth Gabriel might show up.
Yeah. Well, we can only hope. Hey guys, I got some Mountain Dew out in the car. If you drink a little bit of it, it'll get you really wound up. It's a good time.
Guys, we cover cannabis around here. It's what we do. We're going to Kansas City tomorrow. What a time that's going to be at the Normal Conference over on the west side of the state. We're going to go out and we're going to be like, I'm going to go west side to everybody over there in the side.
Sure.
All right, yeah, I'm going to do that. And
Shout out
everyone's
to
gonna be like,
Missouri's
"What?"
left coast.
Yeah, and we're going to represent for South City in Kansas City, and we're going to let them know what's up.
It's going to be so much fun. And not to mention, we've got a nice long drive there and back. We're two bored guys in a car. We're singers. We've got Game of Thrones to talk about, buddy. We got some theories. We're going to do a little road trip review. So tune in tomorrow for that. It's going to be a blast to be on Facebook Live. Give me
Guys.
some cannabis news, baby.
Levi's. You guys wear Levi's? You guys Wranglers? Seth only wears Wranglers.
There's
I do know
nothing
that.
quite
And you are a
as-
Bugle Boy guy.
I like the
actually,
patented U-shaped crotch.
I've been pretty well committed to Z Cavarici.
We still talking about jeans?
I love me some jeans, man. You know, that's one of the things I love, man. Just a good pair of jeans.
Is that Brett Favre over there?
That's what song I'd play at a hockey game.
Like
when I
a
wake
rock.
up in the morning light, I put on my jeans and I feel all right.
Oh, you're the one singing it.
I
Everybody else
never heard that one. You just
Never
make
heard
that up.
It's called Jeans On. The whole song, this guy's just talking about how much he loves his jeans. It's great.
Talk to me about Levi Strauss.
You guys know all about the hemp, right?
I've
Sign
heard
the
a little
farm
bit about
bill.
it. It's like a plant.
Yes, and it'll get you crazy high, man, and make you not respect your superiors.
Oh,
They don't
no
want that.
way,
Oh,
bro.
no, wait. It's less than 0.3% THC. At least that's what you know. The guidelines are for our CBD
Industrial hemp,
product.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Levi's, with the happening of the farm bill, they said, you know what, everybody, we're jumping on the bandwagon too, and we're going to offer jeans made from 30% hemp and 30% whatever the other. Yeah.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah,
does it
70%
say in
cotton, 30% hemp.
Levi Strauss. I mean, there's not many things that are more American than that brand. I mean, when you talk about American brands, Levi Strauss is it. I'm thinking they probably used hemp back in the day to make their jeans before Henry Anslinger came around, right?
Yeah, the jazz musicians trying to have sex with your women.
Netflix pick for you.
Okay.
Hip musicians and their complicated shoes.
Levi says, we partnered with fiber technology specialists to create a cottonization process that softens the fiber. So that's a huge deal right there. Just take that as a little micro piece of information to say, oh, now that we're figuring out how to make it super soft. Maybe our Bellas will start coming in hemp. Using very little energy or chemical processing to make it look and, more importantly, feel almost indistinguishable from cotton. And this goes to what Craig's been trying to tell you guys. I don't know how many times he has to tell you. I don't know. We'll figure it out one day. But $5.7 billion by 2020 is what they think a portion of this hemp industry could that they're going to tap into.
Buddy, it's more than that.
I know. That's what they said. Those Levi's is getting into. Yes.
We're talking textiles at that point with just
Imagine
even the main
everything
companies, the building products. I mean, I'll tell you what, you're going to leave a lot of hardwoods. They're going to be feeling a little left out. Like, how come you don't want to cut me down no more? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I can get 3 hemp harvests in the time it takes you to grow 26 years before I cut you down.
No one cares about hickory
Tear down all of these
anymore.
habitats for all of these lovely little animals.
I'm an oak. No one cares about oak anymore. All right, I got another story for you guys. I got some St. Louis news too on the cannabis industry. I'm going to hold off on that one because beyond THC, it's time to assert the primacy of terpenes.
Terps.
Guys, it turns out the nose did know cannabis lovers the world over are missing out on optimized highs because they don't know enough about terpenes. Talk to our girl Tiffany Jones. I'm sure she knows all about them. We've all been lured towards high percentages of THC, but the main active ingredient in cannabis, that's what it is. But is THC the main ingredient? So this article goes on to just talk about some of the different names of the terpenes here. And
Limonene.
Yes, we're just finding out. It's the tip of the iceberg. The most award-winning strains aren't often the highest THC, but they all have righteous terps. Okay, since 2010, when the Emerald Cup,
terps.
Yep,
That's such a good.
we're finding out at the Emerald Cup when it started testing, the winner has never had the highest THC. It's all about the ensemble of terpenes and cannabinoids. That article, you can find it on Leafly, and we've talked about this before, but if anyone is trying to follow their dreams and they're like, I don't know if I want to be a grower or if I want to get into this section of the cannabis industry, if you can be our terpene guy or gal or whatevs, then get after it because the terpenes are these little, I feel, puzzle pieces.
It's your flavor. It's your flavor. It's your smell. It's what distinguishes the plants from one another when you're a consumer, when you're a buyer. What's the first thing you're going to do when you'll see it through the bag? Okay, first thing you're going to do is you're going to smell it.
Oh, when I went to dispensaries in Colorado, first thing you pop it open, take a big old fat whiff.
They have like little coffee beans there, like next to like
they do.
So you can cleanse your palate.
Yep,
that's so
cool. Of course they do, buddy.
So cool.
Come
It's
on,
like the Sephora of weed,
dude. People like to walk in places like Bed Bath and Beyond or whatever. That's like the equivalent of us walking into a dispensary because you walk in, it's just like it punches you in the face.
Oh, it's an amazing deal.
It's good.
I've never been in a legal dispensary.
Really?
And it was George Nolan, I believe, our buddy, who said sometimes your nose will pick up, like maybe for a medicinal value, if you're having seizures or MS and you want to vape your THC or even cook with it, go and smell the strain. Don't take other people's words for it because we're finding out that maybe the same strain can have different effects on the same person.
No doubt.
With these terpene differences, it's amazing. So smell it when it finally gets here. But smell it, absorb it. Maybe your nose will say, "Hey, man, this is what it is."
Let's build on that. We talked a couple weeks ago about like, are we really our thoughts? Does bacteria in our gut also kind of influence the way that we make our choices? All of a sudden, if you are sick or if when you're smelling these different flowers, does your body tell you which one is more appealing to it? Does the bacteria in you know which one might better serve it, or try and reject maybe the one that might
Get rid
attack
of the
it even?
bad. Oh, this guy over
I don't know.
here.
I don't know.
Why are you making my brain think like that? I don't like that one bit. We did have an article in STL Today, stltoday.com. The rollout of medical marijuana in Missouri hits another pothole. Good job.
Well, we pay taxes, so fix the pothole.
If you get off, if your kink is potholes, go drive down Big Bend. You'll have a continuous orgasm.
Buddy, what's the road that goes by River to Pear?
River to Pear.
Is it River? That's on the one side. What's on the other side? By Wilmar
Germania.
Park. Oh, that's Germania on the other side. Dude,
Hampton.
River to Pear is
Hampton.
River to Pear is treacherous. It is treacherous.
It'll get you.
You'll dodge one and you end up in another. It's like holes out
The river, you got about 8 feet to the river too. So if you can call it that.
Doyle rules. It's all I can think about every time I drive on it.
Missouri's fledgling medical marijuana program could be facing its second lawsuit after. Are they considering Bradshaw's the first?
Thank you.
Jesus, Craig, that was an amazing trumpet. Yeah, everyone is just blown away by that right now.
I've heard better.
You've been
trumpet
holding out on that?
Gardner's a great mouth trumpet player.
In a protest filed with the state on Thursday, this article's from April 22nd, an attorney for BioTrack THC said the awarding of a contract to register patients, license facilities, and track marijuana from seed to sale to Metric, which is METRC LLC, was flawed because the winner did not disclose fees that would be charged to growers and other vendors.
Interesting that you say that, bruh, because I'm a little ignorant to this, but the people that have come back to Missouri, people that have been working in the industry out in Colorado, California, when it was announced that Metric was going to be the system, matter of fact, it happened during CannaCon STL a couple weeks ago that Mo Normal put on out at the Crown Plaza. When it came out, there was instant backlash for industry insiders, people that have been using this program in Colorado, in California, in legal places. They say it is an absolute nightmare. So I don't know. I don't know enough about it to give it a good opinion, but I do know that I didn't see very much good opinion of the system itself. And there are other systems out there. I don't know. Man.
We just got to let the market catch up. A few more systems out there.
I think a lot of us, we want this to come out just absolutely perfect. We really do.
I just want it to come out
for sure. But I do think that the way the bill was written.
What's perfect? What does that even mean?
That's the whole deal. That's an unattainable thing. So let's figure out what's the pragmatic path forward. If there's something better than Metric, let's look at all the options. Now that there were additional fees that were brought into it, maybe there's somebody else where it matches up better. Industry people that are complaining about it. All I see are complaints. Do you have a better option? What is the thing that you're using that's making running your business easier to report to the state or whatever? Put it out there. We got to know and educate us, because right now DHSS, they're still looking for recommendations on stuff. You can, I think it's info at it's
he said it
medical
40
cannabis
times.
at
DHSS.org.
We're going to find out. We'll find it. We'll post in the links for you, but they're looking for, your questions, your input. They're
We can
still
help write
trying
this
to
thing.
write this thing out. So yeah, we can absolutely get in there, be respectful, come correct. You got a point to make the point, be convincing.
What is with the whole seed to sale tracking? Are we so worried that some of these plants are going to get outside of the system we've built around an illegal plant?
Yes.
And now we got, how many seeds did you have? How many seeds? Well, let this automatic system go. Yeah. Well, you can't have this many clones of this plant.
Well, that's the deal. Right now, as it sits, they're counting
all crap.
clones.
I hate it. I have it tattooed on my butt. And I love the idea of what we're doing. We just have to get past all this bureaucratic BS.
Totally.
It's too much, right? The first thing they should have said is it is decriminalized. It is legalized. Like if we find it here, good, fine. Like the black market, guess what? It's going to go wild in Missouri for a little while we're figuring this stuff out. Right now, the DHSS, Lyndall Fraker, God bless the man's soul. He gets up there and there are people who are like, they're in weed pants, firing off questions. They've been following, they've had a disease that has forced them to get into the game, to learn everything. And Lyndall Fraker's like, we're figuring that out. I felt bad for him at times, but another part of me was enraged that I feel we're moving at a snail's pace. Like, oh, well, we got to get the licensing. We got to get all that. I'm in agreement with you. We do need all that, but there's got to be a quicker way. I can't imagine at DHSS right now, they're working around the clock. Hey, guys, we're getting people their medicine.
they're punching
we're
a
getting
clock
it up.
just like any other.
It is infuriating because this isn't tomatoes. This isn't like some sort of fruit when it should be. It should be like, how many tomatoes did you grow in your backyard? Who gives a crap? I don't care. I picked some up at the store. You grew a bunch in your backyard? Give me some. Let's do this thing.
No doubt. Hey, shout out to our guy, Ricky Starling. Medical marijuana info at health.mo.gov. Guys, give them some. Right now, they're counting clones as plants. If you can only have so many, you'll only be able to get one grow. If you can't build a cycle, you're 100%. Listen, you know me.
I know. I'm
pull all the red tape off of it.
Yep.
I mean, when you look at what happens with overregulation, and I don't think we are still a red state. There is an argument to be made for all of the Republicans. There's a business economical argument. Most of them are on board. The Republicans in the Missouri State Legislature, they're on board. We just got to show them how much money can be made from all of this. Hey, whatever your motives are for being in it, great. That's fine. Mine are to get people the medicine they need.
We're still acting like it is, well, medicinally it's legal, but god dang, we got to make sure it doesn't get into the hands of the kids and in the hands of the wrong people. We still have a foot in that area where we're like, we legalized it, but man, it's still
I know they're trying to crack down on edibles right now. They're trying. You can't have any gummies or candies.
And all the
or
420
like
articles that were like, oh, the police are going to be out in full force, and we got to do something. My heart goes out to policemen more than I think the common man. But when I see them collecting revenue on the side of the road, that upsets me. When they're not speaking up. When I don't see any policemen at these events for these cannabis things saying, I'm right there with you. I'm the one writing these people tickets. I feel terrible for it. Is that even a possibility? Can a cop do that without having to go back to work and everyone being like, hey, Serpico?
No doubt. Hey, listen.
Good to see you, sir.
Guys, we are way up against it.
Yeah.
We're way up against it. Let's jump to a quick break. Let's let Stevie calm down a little bit. All right. No, Steve, you're a little worked up. Okay. You're a little worked up. And I can appreciate it, man. You're passionate. You want to give people some help. This first hour is brought to you by James Carlton State Farm. Check out carltoninsurance.net, 314-961-4800. On the other side of the break, we'll go down the rabbit hole. This is Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU 920 AM. We will see you on the other side of the break.
Hey there, Krager.
Well, hey, Steve.
How you doing, buddy?
Man, I've been pretty good.
Well, that's good. Hey, you heard anything about them newfangled hemp oils they got now?
I just don't know where to find a good one.
Well, I find the best full spectrum hemp oil from MomedCanco.com.
Where?
I get it from MomedCanco.com.
Is it expensive?
It don't cost 2 kittens whiskers. And if you enter HOSO in the promo box, you're going to get yourself 15% off.
Buddy, it sounds like we're squatting tall cotton.
Darn right we are.
Where can I find them?
You can find them online, MomedCanco.com, Missouri Medical Cannabis Company.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah. You can get an insurance quote anywhere. What people are really looking for is someone to help manage the risk of everyday life. And that's exactly what James Carlton State Farm does. He's also dangerously handsome. He has the dreamiest eyes.
James Carlton has the best customer service in the game. You'll never get a voicemail, and you'll always get a great back rub.
He has the softest hands. A strong sense of community is important to who he is as an agent. From local school sponsorships to sandbagging during floods, it's paramount to be a part of the community. We love the cut of his jib.
Guys, call
314-961-4800. Find them online at carltoninsurance.net.
He was our dad.
Roof? You know what that sound is. That's Rufus the Roofing Dog from Lifetime Roofing and Renovation. They're former insurance adjusters. They will fly a drone over your house to check to see if you've had any hail damage. Heck, they'll get up there and tell you themselves. They have an office in Webster Groves, and they're looking to help you out. Lifetime Roofing and Renovation, 314-800-0426. Give them a call. Find them online at lifetimestl.com.
Dear Vet Ticks, it was nice to spend the night with my daughter and other veterans. It's so humbling to attend an event when you feel appreciated.
I had a wonderful time with my family. Thank you for the memories, Vet Ticks.
Dear Vet Ticks, thank you for a great experience and for your support of the military and veterans.
Thank you so much, Vet Ticks. Our family has gone through a lot the last few years, and this gave us a nice break.
Every empty seat at a concert, game, or special event is a missed opportunity to say thank you to a veteran or a service member. By giving your extra tickets to VetTix, you'll help America's heroes reduce stress, strengthen family bonds, and create a truly happy memory that will last a lifetime. So when you really want to say thank you for your service, give the experience, give the memory. VetTix. Give something to those who gave. For more information on how you can make a difference, go to vettix.org.
Listen, insurance is not something you want to gamble on.
You know, what my associate's trying to say is that James Carlton State Farm is really cool. You're not even going to believe it. Like, let's say you're driving along on the road with your family, and you're driving along, patch of ice, can't quite stop, boom, you bump into the guy next to you. James Carlton's got somebody out there ready to take care of you 24/7. You call them at 314-961-4800. Now, here's what happens with the other guy's insurance. You're driving along, kids are in the backseat. Daddy, I got to go to the bathroom. Not now, damn it. Ice. You can't stop. Here comes the adjuster. Adjuster gets out. He says, oh, my God. New guy's in the corner puking his guts out. All because you want to save a couple extra pennies. To me, it just doesn't make much sense.
Guys, check out carltoninsurance.net, 314-961-4800. If your insurance is costing you a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.
Hey there, sophisticated Hoosiers. Have you been to our website? Visit HoosierSophisticate.com and listen to our uncensored podcast. Share some laughs with us. Send us fan mail so we can feel warm and special. Buy our merchandise so that we can eat. Wear your Hoosier Sophisticate t-shirt at social gatherings and let the women approach you. Wear it around the office and get that big promotion instead of Ted. That's right. Screw Ted. Ted sucks. That's HoosierSophisticate.com.
In order to get the principle of a network across, I have to convey to you an idea which is extremely simple, but which is difficult to grasp only because we're not used to it. We are used to thinking as Westerners, as having a certain kind of language, and therefore a certain kind of logic that goes with it. We're used to thinking of the world in terms of the game of billiards. In other words, we are still thinking about our psychology, our bodies, and their relationship to the outside world in terms of what would scientifically be called Newtonian mechanics.
You're live with Stephen Elgin and Craig Kohler. This is Hoosier Sophisticate Radio, everybody. Presented by Mycelio Media. Let's chill, St. Louis.
Hey, we're back. St. Louis. God, these guys are good. Whenever we return from a break, I feel like I'm returning to my center, Friday nights. It's what I love. I love you guys. Thanks for letting me do this crazy, stupid thing. I got to dance in front of a green screen and sing Gloria in a pair of cutoff shorts and a half shirt. You got to dress up in a cockroach outfit and just kill it.
It was a blast, man.
So good.
We're having fun.
So he was in a cupcake, and the cupcake was kind of a slum house.
flop house.
It was a flop house, and it was the cops came because they had a bunch of paraphernalia inside this cupcake. I'm sorry, that's funny to me. It's funny, guys. What this is this hour brought to you by Lifetime Roofing. Lifetime
Google
Roofing. You can just go Google it.
Don't even do the read. Just tell them to Google it.
Anything exterior, Google Lifetime Roofing. What do we got for this awesome segment, Seth?
I think we're gonna take a trip down the rabbit hole. Guys, Chinese scientists have inserted human genes into monkey brains. But before we get to that,
not again.
Federal prosecutors charged 60 physicians and pharmacists Wednesday with illegally handing out opioid prescriptions in what they say is the biggest crackdown of its kind in U.S. history. Some of the doctors are accused of trading drugs for sex, giving prescriptions to Facebook friends without proper medical exams, and unnecessarily pulling teeth to justify writing pain pill prescriptions. The list of indicted medical professionals includes a podiatrist, orthopedic specialists, dentists, general practitioners, and nurse practitioners. Okay, so if dentists were unnecessarily pulling teeth to justify writing these pain prescriptions, what were the podiatrists doing?
Pulling toes.
You know what that means, right?
No.
Oh. We'll tell you after the show. Pulling toes. My dad used to crack my toes.
It's the worst.
That's kind of weird.
No, having your toes pulled is the worst.
Oh, my dad used to do it. I was
been,
like 19.
I'm a bend popper. I like to I like
he
to
would
bend
just
them
pull
down.
'em. He would pull
It's
'em.
the worst.
He'd pull 'em.
It's the worst.
So, like, this is a great way to piggyback off of what Steve was saying earlier about, it's like a tomato. Why are we freaking out about this when these guys just it says here, they said the illegal prescriptions put as many as 32 million pain pills in the hands of patients.
Well, Seth, it's funny you say that because you took the words right out of my mouth. Oh, it must have been while you were kissing me. Meatloaf?
I got you, babe.
That's what I was saying. Seed to sale. We got to track
60.
We got to track everything. But these pills, it's like, hooray! Here you go. It's a
just
parade.
confetti.
Yeah, here you
Just
go.
opioid
At the end of a
confetti.
concert, they're just like, rain down upon me. Rain.
Would you like some SSRIs? Listen, 60 physicians. I know it's a start, but that number is probably 1,000-fold. So we've gotten away from actually addressing health concerns, and it's become a business of masking health concerns. And this is great. The physicians, the pharmacists, coming at them, that's terrific. Guess what? I want Insys Therapeutics. I want their boards' heads on a spike.
Like Ned Stark.
Like Ned Stark.
Sorry.
May he rest in peace.
Sorry, spoiler alert.
I'm just saying there's an even bigger, if you read into the history of the opiate cartel, okay? This goes back way into the 1700s, into Britain, into China, the opium wars.
Really?
It's all carried over. It was, and also the cannabis merchants, like it was back and forth. Did you know, just to kind of segue
please.
for a second, it used to be illegal not to grow hemp in Jamestown, Virginia.
I know. You had to.
You had to grow hemp. It was something that was seen vital to the entire community.
You had to track it, though,
But
from
if you
seed to sale.
do a little bit of homework, go Google it. Just like Lifetime Roofing. If you go Google it, the opiate cartel goes back hundreds of years.
Really?
Carried through the Civil War, and a lot of it are the same families all along.
No.
Drug dynasties.
Get out of here.
Yes, sir.
That is, I did not know that.
This problem, that's great. Okay, this is great. This is a step in the right direction. But once again, this is more of a masking the problem thing. This is our opiate prescription to the problem. Is we're gonna there's a couple of doctors that have really been abusing the system and giving it away to people. That's great. Who's pumping these things out? Who's lobbying against cannabis legislation? Who's making sure that their medicine is the only medicine available at ridiculous prices that become so expensive that the only thing they can do to sate their desire for opiates in their system is to go to the streets and get fentanyl and heroin on the streets. It's a huge budding problem. So it's like, okay, we're chopping off the petals are the physicians, the petals of the flower. Get in the roots, take them out.
Yep. For every person hacking at the branches of evil, there's very few people hacking at the roots. And that's the deal, man. Like seeing the people who have transitioned off of opioids and pills using a mixture of cannabis and meditation. And because it's like, what are you going to do, man? I'm addicted to opioids. Now, when I don't take them, my body
hurts
the worst.
I don't want to be alive. Imagine. I don't want to be alive. It hurts so bad.
I'm supposed to be like, hey, man, smoke some weed and take a mushroom and it'll make you feel better. Like, I don't know how to get through those people, but I'll tell you what, people like Tiffany Jones and people like Chris Haney, like, those are people I can see. And if maybe you're struggling too, like Project for 22, and if you can get a hold of Tiffany Jones or our page, any person like that who kind of has some sort of knowledge and the know-how, maybe he's been there, been through it, say, yeah, it's going to be the worst thing of all time. But do you want 4 days of a nightmare, of the worst nightmare, or a life of just a slight nightmare that you're probably going to end one day yourself? Because it gets talked about, almost over talked about, to where it's like, yeah, opioid epidemic. I get it. People should stop taking pills. I get it. So we are almost numb to it.
We watched a Sublime documentary the other day, and it was getting down to the end of Brad's life. And
whoa, what's this called? Where can I?
It was on YouTube. You can look it up. It was like a VH1 doc on Sublime, and it comes down to it, and they're talking about his end of life basically. And he had it so bad. He was on the junk so bad, and he told his mom or stepmom, like, tie me down tie me down, or I will get up and I will go find it. And they did, and he got out. And they stopped him as he got out. He got in a fist fight with his mother. Jeez. And then, like, they caught him. They brought him back in the room.
Who won?
I think his mom. I think they tied him back down. Tied him back down. Next morning, he was gone. He was dead in just a couple hours. Dude, like, heroin and opiates, man, it's a sad story, dude. I mean, I've had buddies that have been affected by it, like, their whole life. I mean, promising future dudes, man, like, that just had it completely upended. And it almost always starts with something that was prescribed or something that was bought over the counter. Almost always.
We talk about the legalization possibly of all drugs. I mean, does that count for that? Like, if a person really wants to go buy a bunch of methadone or whatever.
The idea behind the decriminalizing and treating it as a health issue instead of a criminal issue is one that it's more regulated. The product is actually just like we're doing with seed to sale. The product, they're actually buying good product. Because right now, you buy on the streets, it might be cut with fentanyl. Like, that's where a lot of the overdose happens.
Like in Cincinnati, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, there's like bad dope everywhere. Like, that's one of the problems with it being on the street. You're also typically, like in Portugal, they have centers that you go to. So it sounds like a super radical idea, but a lot of people aren't dying anymore. A lot of people are actually. There are programs when you have a decriminalization measure like that, there are programs that come alongside of it that would have otherwise been going towards law enforcement and funding this whole drug war, that are counseling and are ways to teach kids the dangers of it before they would ever even think to try it. So, man, okay, 60 physicians and pharmacists, great. I throw the book at them. But let's keep climbing the ladder and let's keep throwing these dudes off. Let's play King of the Hill and throw these chumps down off the hill.
I think our knowledge is expanding too. All of your guys' knowledge is expanding, saying that, my doctor, whatever he just gives me, I'm not just going to be like, sure, man, you gave me a whole 100 pills. I had a toothache. Give me 100, God knows what.
Needed them for a day.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, okay, now I'm on the cycle. I think a lot more people are, all right, what are you giving me? What? Oh, I read the side effects on these. I'm good. I'm going to do ibuprofen.
Death is a side effect of most of them.
Yeah. Oh, your breathing gets so low that you may die. It's like, let me take
your brainstem no longer communicates.
SSRIs. You might want to commit suicide. Really? Well, that's
supposed to make me not commit suicide.
Oh, it's great. An antidepressant commercial. And they're like, it may cause suicidal thoughts.
Great.
Wait.
So you're doing nothing but amplifying the issue. Thank you so much for that. sir.
Strange.
And
It's like
anal leakage?
Tylenol may cause headaches.
Talk to me about these Chinese.
Yeah, I know.
All right. When scientists in China added human genes to monkeys, they were hoping to gain a better understanding of how human brains develop. In the process, they triggered an ethical debate over research that some say blurs the line between humans and animals. The scientists behind the new research, which was published March 27th in the journal National Science Review, say genetically altered monkeys can advance our understanding of brain development, which could lead to new treatments for autism and other developmental disorders. A couple of questions. Do you really need to do that? I mean, you can train a monkey to roller skate and wear a bow tie and smoke a cigar already.
Play hockey.
Yeah. Monkeys are very smart. They stand
Sign
on
language.
beach balls
I
and-
just feel like we've got these factions of scientists. that are-
Stand on beach balls. He's like real
You've ever
quiet.
been to a circus?
Well, I mean, we got scientists that are just running amok. Reel it in. We got people that are dead set on making Terminator a reality, and people that are dead set on making Planet of
Good.
the Apes a reality.
You think that's honestly?
You know what I need
are you-
is a
do you think people
chimpanzee that can think like I do. The thing can already rip my arms off and beat me to death. with
It'll
them.
eat your penis. First thing it does. Eat your fingers and penis. That's what it does. And your face. It'll eat your nose, ears,
Any
penis,
extremities.
fingers, toes. Yeah, anything.
And then you're just nubs.
And then it'll gnaw on your coccyx.
What do you
The
think, Seth?
tailbone.
I'm aware.
I don't know. Well, do you
Thanks,
think there's anything
Dr.
unethical about it?
Zayas?
Let's read the letter.
Dr. Zayas.
The critics
Sorry,
of the
I'm
research,
peeing.
including one
Kissing
scientist who contributed to it, have called foul, arguing that the scientific gains don't justify the creation of monkeys that could wind up with more human-like intelligence.
What were they trying to do? Like cure Alzheimer's? Is that what they were trying to do? Like is that
any
the guys?
brain developmental it says right
The
here.
guys are living under right
Developmental
now?
So science is
disorders.
going to always push these things, and we can debate whether or not the science behind it is a bad idea. But then there's also the ethical argument behind it. Like, at what point do these monkeys? What are their rights in all of this? Right? Like,
Just like the robots.
I'm pro-human.
I get it, and they're legit making chimeras here. I mean,
Haven't we blasted a few monkeys off to space?
Sure.
Did they come back?
Yeah, a couple times.
They okay?
Just to grab something to drink, they went back.
Why did they what did the monkeys go to space for?
Just to make sure that we could go there
Yeah.
without dying. They were canaries. They were canaries in the coal
Yeah.
I
mine.
think we sent some dogs up there too.
We sent all kinds of stuff.
Why
up
did
there. We sent Russians up there? Like, hey,
Yeah,
go
good. Check it out.
Get somebody on death row and be like, "Hey, you're going to go to space."
I am all for. Listen, if
Testing
we're
things
going
on
to do
people that
the
are gonna
death
die
penalty, if we're down for the death penalty, I am all for being creative with it, finding ways for it to advance society. For instance, we're $22 trillion in debt, so why not do like public executions again? But in this case, it's a pay-per-view, and what you do is you line up like 8 or 10 guillotines on the top of a hill, and then at the bottom of the hill you have it's like Plinko. It's like Plinko. You have
The
pegs-
guillotine has to have some sort of LED light on it to kind of.
Totally, and maybe some AC/DC playing, and so like there's some pegs all along the hill.
Where did you come from? Where did you go?
And at the bottom of the hill, there's 10. I could see. Listen, this works for Vegas. There's 10 holes at the bottom. There's 10 guillotines at the top.
Like a
you take
Plinko?
you take the horse. It's Plinko, and you bet on which hole lands in which hole. It's pay per view. Which head lands in which hole? It's pay per view. It would be a huge moneymaker.
Not wrong.
All of it goes to I don't know, freeing all of the nonviolent criminals in our
He's
system.
not wrong. That's
I'm just
not
saying.
a-
Send them into space. That's a great idea. What else can we do? What else can we test out? Let's see how big of a hole we can dig and just drop a couple
not
people
a
down in there.
bad-
I don't know. Like, let's have
not
some
a
fun. Like,
bad
we're going to
idea.
do the death penalty. Let's spice it up a little bit. Let's not be the Blues pregame here. Let's show that we're like a little bit more fun than that. We're a little more forward thinking. Like maybe we're like a huge tech center in the middle of the Midwest. Like this is where Square's headquarters are. We've got a lot of talent around here. Let's start having some fun.
I'm with you, buddy.
You're probably not. I'm not even with myself. I'm just rambling.
I'm right there with you. And the monkey thing, it makes me think, I'm not really too worried about the whole monkey thing on the grand scheme. Still more worried about the robots. We're talking, you said the two movies, Terminator and Planet of the Apes kind of coming around.
What happens when the monkeys can control the robots and start programming the robots?
Don't worry about that. We'll figure it out. We're excellent at just obliterating other species.
That's
So
no lie.
we got no problems. We got a lot of practice with that.
There will be a war, the rise of these apes versus the robots, and we will be in the middle of the whole thing.
Where would you hitch your wagon?
What side would I want to
Yeah.
be on? I want to go monkeys.
You're going monkeys?
Yeah.
Monkeys.
The
versus
robots are creepy.
I'm welcoming my robot overlords.
Oh God.
I like the monkey idea.
I figure I could
Monkeys
be
are smelly.
I could be a Borg.
Okay, would you do the chick monkey, Helena Bonham Carter from the newest Planet of the Apes?
Haven't seen it, but I'm a fan of Hell Bonham Carter. So
Yeah, I'll show you a picture.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
What
look
about
that
the
up.
old one? What about the old movie? You've seen the Planet of the Apes.
damn dirty apes!
Yeah, would you?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, obviously. You get that opportunity thrown at you, you're gonna pass it up.
Why not? It's
You're
like
gonna pass that
it's like
opportunity
Star Lord with the pink chick and
Thank
Guardians of the
you.
Galaxy, and Captain
Thank
Kirk
you.
with the green gal.
What was her name again, Steve? I'm gonna
Helena
look-
Bonham Carter, and it was in Planet of the Apes. She's
the wife of Tim Burton. isn't she?
Mrs. Zaius.
She's the wife of Tim Burton. I
Yeah, she
believe.
was. But this has another article I found kind of playing into the whole animal testing. Yale scientists have tested and brought back the brain function of 32 dead pigs.
What's the deal with that pickle?
I think that's a little bit more frightening as far as I watch zombie movies. I'm not worried about like all the lead up to these zombie movies. Like I thought I Am Legend was a pretty neat idea at the very beginning. They're saying, oh yeah, we cured cancer. And then that kind of made them into these, not really zombie, kind of like vampire zombie things. But there's never a real good origin story for zombies.
Zombies bore me. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking,
Unless they're ice
I don't get
zombies.
that crazy either.
Unless
Yeah,
they're
me
ice
neither.
zombies marching south of the
I
wall.
really
Then
like
get
the zombie. I really like the horde of just people trying to kill you. Like that's a great idea. You know what I mean? In some movies, they
Yeah.
run fast.
I just
and
feel like once you've seen it, you've seen it. You know?
Yeah.
My favorite zombie movie ever was Shaun of the Dead, just because he did
Yeah.
all of the things that I think I would do. Is like just pretend you're a
Yeah.
zombie.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Adventureland, or Zombieland.
Oh,
Zombieland.
Zombieland's
Yeah.
terrific. There's a second one coming out.
Oh, seriously? Yeah, the whole part with Bill Murray, so that was great. But this is where I can start thinking that maybe there is not a zombie thing, but maybe you reanimate people and they turn out like the Mountain or something. You know what I mean? Like there's all sorts of weird stuff going on. And more of the zombie things. What if we all are implanted at one point, living forever, and our bodies, we upload our consciousness, but our bodies become these devoid, just
they're
hunger
meat suits.
machines.
Yeah.
Or someone flips your switch in your head. Some zombie fan of the 90s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s who now lives in the year 2090, who we are all implanted, and they go, it'd be a cool virus. We turn all the humans into they want to eat and kill each other. And then they could flip our AI switch that we had implanted by Bayer in our head. Hanson Robotics.
What is the point of that? I guess the only thing I could see from a scientific angle to be able to do that or to want to do that is maybe if they were, we use a lot of
The
pig
reanimation?
organs. We use a lot of pig organs and whatnot. So to what effect? What is the end game in bringing dead pigs back to life?
They're not bringing the nowhere near the brain function of a live pig, just kicking it back on. I believe they said
it's like some motor function.
Dude, pigs are like the
for
third
dementia.
smartest animal.
The researchers hope
Ridiculous.
the technology can enhance our ability to study the brain and its cellular functions. So saying we can study people's brains after they die because we can keep you alive afterwards.
If the humans are already dead, and let's say that they donated their body to science, maybe, or something like that, why not just start with humans? Why not just go straight to the source? Why would you mess around with dead pigs first?
I'd like to see that maybe with
You can't screw up a cadaver. It's like,
some of these
whoops.
ex-NFL players like Junior Seau, guys that have killed themselves and it's been attributed to CTE. Like I could see it playing in, coming back into play there. Like let's bring this guy. Let's just bring the brain function back just a little bit to see how the CTE was actually making his
Interesting. Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. They're bringing dead pigs back. I don't know.
I'm just trying to make sense of it all.
Guys, we're up against it.
Okay.
On the other side of the break, I don't know. We're gonna do
Can I
some
read some
streaming
comments?
picks. We'll do some things I love. Yeah, you can make it real quick.
Zimmerman, we got Miss Behind the Music, Sublime, just Roman McNew. Everyone's saying they love the show. They need to check stuff out. Miss says I refused opioids when I was pregnant with Trevor and had kidney
girl.
pain. They were going to give her opioids. Isn't that amazing?
It's
Isn't that
incredible.
amazing? Yeah, pregnant lady. Yeah.
Well,
give her-
and Miss is an outlier in that. Like how many young gals that are pregnant that hey, my doctor has
pain medicine. Oh, sweet.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now my baby is a, sucking D for more drugs.
Let's go ahead and drop that and get rid of that one. Performing fellatio.
Okay, I got dropped. Whoa,
You got
take us
dropped.
into
Yeah,
break.
take
It's
your
good.
points. Guys, this is Hoosier Sophisticate. On the other side, we'll do little things I love and a little streaming picks of the week and wrap this whole week up. This is Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU 920 AM. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Lifetime.
Jill.
It lasts a lifetime.
Come on.
You last a lifetime.
Yeah.
And just go Google it. I wanna lay those shingles down, girl, for you. I wanna lay those shingles down, boy, for you. I'm gonna do some siding, get you excited. Game party siding. Google it.
Roof up for a lifetime. You know I make your neighbors cry. Boo, cause we tell all the leaks go bye. And you know we all do the side.
Game party boy, yeah.
Guys, Lifetime Roofing. They're the best roofers in the game, best customer service. LifetimeSTL.com. Google them.
Corporal John Vale was on patrol when his truck flipped.
I realized I can't move my legs.
When John arrived at the VA, Paralyzed Veterans of America was there to advocate for him and help John with his claim. PVA has helped hundreds of thousands of veterans get the care and benefits they've earned, and their service is free. If you need help with a claim or just navigating the system, contact us at pva.org.
Hey there, Krager.
Well, hey, Steve.
How you doing, buddy?
Man, I've been pretty good.
Well, that's good. Hey, you heard anything about them newfangled hemp oils they got now?
I just don't know where to find a good one.
Well, I find the best full-spectrum hemp oil from MomedCanco.com.
Where?
I get it from MomedCanco.com.
Is it expensive?
It don't cost 2 kittens whiskers. And if you enter HOSO in the promo box, you're going to get yourself 15% off.
Buddy, it sounds like we're squatting tall cotton.
Darn right we are.
Where can I find them?
You can find them online, MomedCanco.com, Missouri Medical Cannabis Company.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah.
You can get an insurance quote anywhere. What people are really looking for is someone to help manage the risk of everyday life. And that's exactly what James Carlton State Farm does. He's also dangerously handsome.
He has a dream in disguise. James Carlton has the best customer service in the game. You'll never get a voicemail, and you'll always get a great back rub. He has the softest hands.
A strong sense of community is important to who he is as an agent. From local school sponsorships to sandbagging during floods, it's paramount to be a part of the community.
We love the cut of his jib. Guys, call 314-961-4800. Find him online at carltoninsurance.net. We wish he was our dad.
Hi, I found a toy dinosaur over on the playground by Smith Street. It had this phone number on it, and, well, I just wanted to make sure the dinosaur made it back to its little owner.
Yeah, hi. I think I found your kid's stuffed animal near the swing set. Just want to call. I'm sure she misses it.
I know my son gets super attached to the smallest things, even a fire truck, and I'd be happy to drop it off. The toy was a little muddy, so I cleaned it up, and it's good to go whenever you're around.
When I found the little sippy cup, I just had to give you a call. It's for a kid, you know?
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger and give all of our kids the meals they need to grow. Learn how at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
When we installed internet access on our computer, I got the whole family involved. It was a lot of work, but it was really worth it.
That's right, Dad. Now the whole family can stream WGNU live by visiting WGNU920am.com.
We installed the internet on our computer just a short time ago, and I haven't been able to get the kids off it ever since.
That's right. Isn't the internet neat? You can also listen to past shows and featured interviews on our homepage.
No wonder you guys are always so busy on the computer.
WGNU920am.com. Point, click, and listen live.
It's really cool.
There's an endless crop of new people who are interested in using these botanical materials for purposes of self-exploration.
Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU with your hosts, Craig Kohler and Stephen Elgin. Now sit back and learn something about yourself.
What is psychedelic experience? And it's a gratuitous grace. It is neither necessary for salvation nor sufficient for salvation, but it certainly makes it easier.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Hoosier Sophisticate here on WGNU 920 AM. Streaming it live on WGNU920am.com, Facebook Live, YouTube, Mycelial Media. We got new contributors coming on board soon. We're going to have some fun with the green screen. We got a big trip tomorrow. Tune in. Steve and I, we're going to do a little road trip reviews talking about Game of Thrones and all the other good stuff going on. And we'll be doing interviews from the conference out in Kansas City. It's going to be really cool to get on that side of the
wanted us
state.
out there.
What's the deal with that?
Shout out to our
How
gal,
cool
Jamie
is that?
Katz, being like, hey, come out. We got a nice spot set up for you, which is code for we're putting you knuckleheads back in the corner because of specifically what I said right before we went to break.
So here's the dill pickle. Around here, we play a little game. It helps ground us back to earth and the great thing that we call life. And it's called Things I Love. Ooh, I like it. Yeah. Steve, do you love anything, babe?
Yeah, I do. I love so much. And I know we always talk about the little things. And that's where this is supposed to go. You can't say your kids, you can't say all that stuff.
Against the rules. We know you love your kids.
But I just love like the subtle kindness of strangers. And I try to be this guy at times. But like I took an Uber today with my car, and the lady was just sweet as can be. So like just those little personable interactions, you know me at the gas station.
I do.
Like just the little interactions, a door hold, a smile, a nice little joke, a hey, go Blues. Anytime I see anybody in Blues gear right now, it's a go Blues.
Sure.
So just all those mini interactions that make up your whole day. Put yourself out there, say hi, smile. What?
I love it, man. I put it out there today on the page, and I said, one of my favorite bands, they dropped a single, a couple months ago, and I'm really enjoying having Apple Music and everything because they'll drop another one in there every now and then. Go back and check those albums before they drop. And the National has a new album coming out next month that has me so juiced. You know that Trouble Will Find Me is my album that has got me through the dark, man. It has gotten me through the dark. And they have a new album coming out called Easy to Find. And I feel like they've had an album in between, but the album art is like kind of inverse of it. And I think it's just kind of its brother, it's its brother album. It's so great. But we put it out there on the page. Seth, what do you love?
I said it earlier. I love a good fitting pair of jeans.
Ooh, I like it.
You buy them, put them on.
I love when you wear a nice fitting pair of jeans as well, sir.
Yeah. And I will kind of piggyback off of what you said, Craig, because The Cure has an album coming out.
Really?
The Cure is putting out a new album.
Cool.
And they said, Robert Smith said in an interview, we're not going to play the new songs live. They said these are not live songs.
Oh,
these
really?
are studio only,
like that.
10 to 12 minute weird songs.
What?
I'm really
That's
interested.
my kind of jam. Yeah.
Really
I'm down
interested
for
in
that.
this album.
Cool. I'm all over that.
I was just listening to a Disintegration earlier while I was waiting for you guys.
Great, man.
Fantastic
Maybe a little
album.
trip.
If we could
That'd be a
actually
trip.
play like, music and not get shut
Yeah.
down here. I could do the
Thanks,
little
Doc.
Friday I'm in love. You know what I mean? Hey, Becky says, things I love. Freshly shaved legs on freshly washed sheets.
That's a good one.
As a
too.
male, if you've ever shaved your legs for
I have.
anything, like it feels
For fun.
awesome to have like your pants just kind of rub against that all that
Yeah, but then
shorn
you get
skin.
like the first day after, a couple days after that razor burn and stuff.
I'm a porpoise from the waist up, but man, my legs and arms, the whole little.
Yeah, he's Robin Williams.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Kenneth says desert sunsets, nothing better.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
Yeah, because they get all
Nice
sorts
painted
of purple.
sky.
Yeah,
baby. Nick says ice cold water anytime. Really, I just love water.
Hate it. Water's worst.
A lot of people in agreement with them. New
that's
socks.
great.
That's one of mine.
Yep.
New socks is the jam. First pedicure of the summer. They go pedicure dormant in the winters for first baseball game of the season. Just the smell
good
walking
call.
in gives them
Good
chills.
call.
I love not just the smell, the sounds.
Yep.
Oh man, there is a buzz
Crack.
in the stadium. I love it.
Yay.
The crack of the bat. So good. The snap of the leather playing long toss. I'm a big fan of all of the senses that are stimulated.
you suck.
He's been great.
Extra
He's been
Fowler's
so
on
great this
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that's what the crowd.
Kristen says road trips, live music, being outside for any reason in just about any weather, and learning new stuffs. Oh, and hammocks. Hammocks are the jam.
Hammocks are
I'm a
great.
big hammock guy. I'm a
Yeah,
proponent.
I love a
I
good
think
hammock.
Extra Fowler had a 4-hit game the other. I think
Yeah,
he doesn't suck. It was
He's
a joke.
silently
Guys,
putting together a nice little campaign.
It's 12
It's early.
games in.
We're early.
It's not.
Miss says when you have really good sex, pass out, and then wake up playing kissy face. Kids' belly laughs, being really
Gross.
good at my job, being almost drunk on the river, a perfect cannonball. Ooh, that's a good one. And singing around a campfire when everyone joins in. Yes, indeed. Bob says M&M's, pecan pie. Pecan pie is my jam. It's my favorite dessert, probably.
You say pecan?
Pecan pie.
You go who goes pecan? You go pecan?
Pecan.
Pecan.
No, pecan.
Pecan. I think I
like
go
pecan.
Jacob says new music, live concerts, the sound of the initial scratch of a record, vacations near and far, and Mike cuddling a bottle of Old Crow on a riverbank. That's an inside joke
Oh,
for me.
baby.
We in the days of yesteryear, we used to have a float trip down in the Elk River where we would just wild out. And our buddy Mike, we had this just warm bottle of Old Crow, and that thing was our companion all weekend long. It was a blast. I will never forget it. I hope they come to the Cotillion. It's going to be great. Kenneth says beanbag chairs big enough to sleep in.
Great
I'm
call.
on board. I love
Great
those
call.
fat sacks. Those things.
I'll bet
Daddy
you love
fat
those
sack.
fat sacks.
He also says tacos. Effing tacos. I agree with you there,
we
too.
had tacos for dinner. It was a nice,
know.
lovely evening we had
Yeah,
before
I'm
the
a
show.
tamale guy myself. Lily says, a beautiful sunset, walking barefoot in the grass, a full moon on a clear night, live music with friends, and enjoying the devil's lettuce whenever possible. Jennifer says a deep tissue massage.
Ooh, Daddy likes that.
I'm not going to read Brian Kessler's because I don't really care for Brian
He's
Kessler.
the worst.
He's the worst.
I
Jenny
love it
says
when
my
Craig
husband's
gets
cologne.
beat up.
My husband's cologne, my kids laugh, my dog's sleeping, and the feeling you get when you do a crap ton of yard work and it looks amazing when you're done. Craig says
Hate yard work.
dead shows. I can appreciate it. For all those dead fans out there, I can
Oh,
appreciate
dad
that.
shows.
Kenneth says the little jerks I live with. Aaron says the smell of the first cut grass of the season, opening my back door and smelling all the flowers, spooning my puppies, bonfires, driving back roads while listening to my jams with the wind in my hair. Heard all that. Brad says my daughter Zoe. You can't say your daughter, Brad. Get it together. Hagedorn! Hagedorn! Loyal says writing limericks and wordplay to throw people off color shiz, as well as philosophical things too. And Ryan says to continue your music scene. I love when I stumble across an artist or band I've not heard before, liking them, and then climbing down that rabbit hole of since you like so and so, other artists you may like, and just discovering new music. Buddy, one of my favorite things too. Big fan of that. That's one of the coolest features ever. That's one thing that Pandora has definitely brought to this world is like.
Was it 1996?
Yeah,
Pandora?
probably.
Jesus Lord.
They're the ones that
Old
started
guy.
it.
God. Yeah, that's a nice.
Rick
little
says
list.
get into a hotel and immediately having new hotel sex. Hotel sex is the jam, babe.
Yeah, with
it is the
yourself?
jam. It is the jam. He's Spider-Man the windows.
Those beds are great. Those pillows.
Elizabeth says sunny days, good vibes. How much I already love my first little godchild. The list is endless, really. And that's the point. Find the little things and you will see that your life is just
The
a better
list
little
is
place.
endless.
Find them, baby. Micah says, can I just say food in general, but especially when someone else makes something and it's smelling amazing and you bite into it and start doing a happy dance and don't even realize it. I can appreciate that one. Bradley says live music and good beer, and he's halfway there. Andrew says new Craig Finn album out today. I'll have to check that out. I'm not sure who Craig Finn is. Nikki says I love cracking that
Better
first
Craig.
ice cold beer once you get on the river for a day of floating. Summer's on my mind, and also the Cotillion, July 19th through 21st. Tiffany says freshly shaved legs on clean right out of the laundry sheets. Real original, Tiffany. Real original.
Whoa.
And Dennis, the admin, says, I haven't read any comments yet, so forgive me if this is a repeat, but I'll love this little group and what it stands for.
My man.
No, I think that's just like saying you love your kids.
We love you, Nancy.
I don't like that
he
one.
always disallows one.
We love
always disallows one.
I'm a fan. I am a fan. I am a fan. And Steve, that brings us, we're going to go ahead and pot down the things
I love those guys. I love everyone.
Brings us to a little bit of this.
We like movies.
So do we. You like internet.
So do you.
Streaming picks of the week.
Nailed it.
It's the
Streaming picks of the week.
And Hulu too.
It's the streaming picks of the week. We like the internet too.
What are you watching this week, babe?
Ooh, I got all jacked up. Remember how jacked up we were for Bandersnitch?
Mm-hmm.
I spit all over myself. Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch is amazing if you haven't checked it out yet.
And if you haven't seen Bandersnooch, I recommend you checking that out too.
Sequel.
It's a sequel. I checked out 3 different things. Didn't really get into any of them more than the other. I checked out the show, or maybe it's a movie, Special Correspondence. It had Eric Bana and Ricky Gervais. Stopped watching it.
Eric Bana.
Speaking of zombies, I got into Black Summer. It's that new one they've been pimping on Netflix.
Okay.
Segmented. Very it's like the episode is almost chapters, like old DVD chapters, as far as one will be 2 minutes, one will be 7 minutes, one will be 40 seconds. I was on the fence about it. It was okay. I like what they did, something a little different. The zombies are pretty cool, and they do a lot of, I like to see what's going on all at the different times, like when the outbreak happens. Like that's the most intense part, you know. So they do a lot of that. That's pretty good. That's Black Summer. These are all on Netflix. But I did with the Bandersnooch thing, You versus Wild, the Bear Grylls.
Oh no.
Bear Grylls, the Man versus
Wild, yeah.
And now he has You versus Wild.
Okay.
And so, the first thing is
he's incredible.
I
need a guy like that.
Frothy. But here's the deal. He's on like a limb of a he's trying to get medicine. It's more for kids, I feel like.
Okay.
He's trying to get medicine to a village. This doctor is hurt. And at first I'm like, this is for real?
Oh,
this is if I don't make the right choice, these kids are all gonna die. And
it's a choose your own adventure like Bandersnooch.
Choose your own adventure like Bandersnooch. So you go, he's on a limb, and it's like, oh, this side has an alligator, this side has a snake.
I love
which one are you gonna go? Super cool, and it's very quick. It's very
okay.
You press the button, he goes, you want me to take? At one point, he says, do you want me to eat a grub or a bunch of termites? What? And this grub is as big as your pee-pee.
Oh, that's
yeah, it's a monster.
Jeez.
It's a grub. He pulls, and of course, I'm like, eat that grub, baby. And, and so he pulls the head off, and he's like, of course you wanted me to eat the grub. Before he eats it, and of course he's like, so it's pretty cool. I got one episode through, and I think you can
I'll
same
check
type
that
of
out
deal.
for sure.
You can do different things and check
where the
ways.
different paths lead you.
So,
dude, I
the kids
love
died.
that.
Yeah, sorry, he didn't
Sorry,
get your
kids.
medicine.
No penicillin
and
for
it's
you.
live time. So if you don't,
yeah,
if you don't catch
it just makes a choice for you. Yeah. Makes a choice for you. They're like, bang!
Yeah, exactly. One of the kids.
I watched a documentary called Grass is Greener, and this one will land with our fans. We actually had a couple fans talking about it a little bit on the page. It's a great documentary, kind of cataloging the history of cannabis in America. It lit up jazz and hip hop and ignited a war on drugs steeped in racial injustice. Experts explore America's complicated relationship with weed. It's terrific, dude. They go back to just the old jazz greats, and these old guys are, they attribute so much of their creativity, to the jazz cabbage. That's why it's called the jazz cabbage, right? Snoop talks on it, man. It's great. It's a pile of flapjacks. It's really good, man. And it's stuff that we kind of already know. We talk about Anslinger on here. We talk about, just the racist foundation that was the prohibition movement, really catalogs that and shows how the government, I mean, it's ridiculous to hear the things that people were saying to Congress about why the whites should stay away from cannabis because it'll make their women want the black man. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's what sound they'll be making too. I'm on board. Keep them away from the Latin and black guys for real.
I need a chance.
Yeah, give me just a shot, okay? Jeez, Asian guys, come on, guys, come on. It's a melting pot.
It's really terrific, man. Grass is Greener on Netflix. If you want to be kind of well versed in just really how ridiculous the idea of prohibition has been, especially around cannabis, and the way that they painted it and vilified it to the good old boys at home, and the white collar crowd. It's embarrassing that there are still people that hold on to all of those scare tactics and talking points that are absolutely ridiculous. Watch that, and you will see how much of our culture, how much of our pop culture has been influenced by this plant. How much of the most beautiful art that we've ever seen, the best albums that we've ever listened to, all of these guys were using cannabis not just to get through day to day and enjoy themselves, but also as a way to spark their creativity. Grass is Greener on Netflix. It's terrific. I'm like,
is it a series?
It's a documentary. It's about an hour and a half.
Okay.
It's really, really good. It's really well done. I've been flipping through a lot of stuff, having HBO again for Game of Thrones. I'm getting to revisit and finish up with Eastbound and Down, which was always a favorite of mine.
baby.
I've got a season in the can still. I haven't watched. So I know.
Boy.
Oh, Kenny Powers is one of my favorite characters of all time. So I got that. I started checking out Barry upon at your very good. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I like the premise of it.
Yeah.
So HBO's got a lot of stuff going, but dude, I'm all Thrones right now. I've just got a raging Throner.
Hey, before we talk a little bit Thrones, Tom says The Bleeding Edge on Netflix, which I think we maybe watched it a while ago, about he says, I worked for and was a sales rep for a surgical robotics company called Intuitive Surgical, selling the concept of robotic surgery. You'll see how sinister medical device pharma companies are. This was in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yikes.
So this documentary seems interesting.
That out.
28 Days Later was Kenneth Zimmerman talking about good zombie movies. Black Klansman, Vanessa says
that's on HBO. I'm gonna check that out.
That's awesome. The remake of Watership Down, which I did see some things about that on Netflix. They said that's pretty good. Ken says that's pretty good.
Cool. Check them out. I'm all in on Thrones, brother, and we won't talk about anything that's been going on in 8. I know there's people that are still behind. We're going to hit it tomorrow, so spoiler alert for tomorrow. We're going to hit it, and we're going to hit it hard. We're getting deep into the histories of Westeros and Essos, Sothyros. We're getting into it, guys.
Greg, I watched
only got a couple of episodes left, and I've got some ideas that I was cooking in my brain last night with the Crips and with Bran, and we got some good stuff going. Thrones has got me. I don't know. This weekend is a big weekend for pop culture. I don't know that I've ever been this excited. I mean, we're about ready to take in the longest film battle scene in cinema / television history with the Battle of Winterfell, which is going to be amazing. So I'm super excited about that. Dude, Avengers Endgame dropped last night at midnight, and I'm so into Thrones right now that almost slipped past me. I mean, there's clearly a lot of people talking about it. Super
I can't
excited.
believe Captain America was Thanos.
What is the deal?
Dun dun dun. No, it's the Thrones has got me crazy. And today, like you were saying, you just kind of think about it in the back of your head. When you're laying down, when I was waking up this morning, they were talking about the song, the Jenny song, Jenny Stone,
dude, brother, yes.
So Podrick, our guy, belts it out. The guy's got a hog and he can sing like that. Yep. Ridiculous. Yep. So, but
he probably also used cannabis.
George R.R. Martin.
Yes.
This world is so deep, and
there are songs that, yes,
I've been learning about the history, the prehistory,
great,
the caveman, the BC, the children of the forest, and the Andals, the first men, learning how all of them came to be.
And that's where we're
almost a Bering Strait situation. This guy, Craig, how
It's
How many
amazing.
years and how?
There's authors out there like R.R. Martin, George R.R. Martin, Brandon Sanderson coming to mind.
George
Patrick
Tolkien.
Patrick Rothfuss. J.R.R. Tolkien. Like those guys, the way that they could. That's where the story's great. The story's phenomenal, but the world is.
That's what I'm
just
saying. How do you keep track of that in your head, Craig? How did they keep track of that? How do they make a character that says, "Oh, this character that I created, he's going to make a song because this is what he's gone
I think
through."
once you lay out your story, then you can just kind of start segmenting it, and you just kind of build a tree off of each character, and then you find ways for those tree branches to kind of cross
and
over.
they all connect. And his story, it
true.
has to be so flawless because with millions and millions and millions of people
are looking for holes,
flipping through it. The one thing that the only problem I hear people come out, they time warped, or they call it something different, transplanting or something, because they'll get somewhere real fast. But they've been even keeping up with that in the dialogue. What is it that makes Game of Thrones such a phenomenon?
Well, one, HBO doesn't pinch pennies on anything, so they're bringing us high quality Hollywood entertainment. For real, like I had an aversion to starting to watch Game of Thrones because when it was brought on, it canceled my favorite show on ever. Rome on HBO,
which is
my
awesome.
Absolute favorite. It's only 2 seasons, and they do a great. But they definitely, when you're watching the second season of Rome, it was definitely kind of rushed to wrap it up. That was something. It's Rome. You could tell that story for
centurions,
for
wasn't it?
Season. Yeah, so it follows 2 guys in Caesar's.
I only watched
Legion.
a couple of them and I loved it.
Oh, buddy, you've got HBO.
Yeah, go back.
Oh.
Go back now.
Countdown sequence initiated. 10 seconds to evacuation. Security breach detected. You have intelligence. Is under attack. Extracting dark matter. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Check out Rome on HBO, dude. You got to do it. It's Shakespeare's Julius Caesar told through the eyes of 2 just regular soldiers in Julius Caesar's army. It's amazing. It's HBO. It got canceled because the costumes and the set were so expensive to do for both shows. So I didn't come on watching Game of Thrones until about the 3rd season. So
are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, and then I've now since watched it through 7.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
you had to, wow.
But yeah, I was like,
you.
Guys, thank you so much for making this possible, man. I can't tell you how much we look forward to our Friday nights with you, and how much you inspire us to have fun and to have fun with you and interacting and telling us the things that you love. The things that you love are the things that we love. My jam, baby, is your jam. My jam is your jam. We got a party next week. We're going to have a year in review show. Come on out to the Spanish Society. Seth's going to be cooking for you. There's going to be very cheap adult beverages. It's free entry. We're going to have a good time. It's our rules. And where our rules go, it's always a good time. Next Friday, get out there about 6, 7 o'clock, Spanish Society, South City. We'd love to see you there. It's going to be a great little crowd. We got Hoosier Cotillion coming up July 19th through the 21st. Tickets are on sale now. You need a password. That password is "Get the Coughing Under Control," all caps. Do it. Go buy your tickets now. There's only a few left, guys, maybe about 10 left. So get them while you can. It's going to be a blast. It will be one of the most memorable moments of your life, and definitely just a spot on your calendar for 2019 where you're like, my life changed that day. Thank our sponsors, momedcanco.com. Enter HOSO at checkout. The highest quality hemp oil products you can possibly get. Michael Brooker's getting him a bottle of the vape juice. Woo! And we also got a little bit of CBD peanut butter now. They got massage oils. They got cocoa oils. They got CBDs for your pets. Go check them out. momedcanco.com. Enter HOSO at checkout. James Carlton, State Farm. CarltonInsurance.net. 314-961-4800. If he's not insuring you, you're a fool. Call him. I wish he was my dad. Okay? And then we got our second hour sponsors, Lifetime Roofing and Renovation. Roof. All your exterior work. Just go Google them. Rose Extermination. Spiders and mice, baby. They're coming. Those ants are coming. Make sure you got a plan. They're going to come out. They're going to make sure that you're the only one welcoming your home. You're not inviting these cats in. And we're going to go check out Truman's
They
Place
don't
in
exterminate
Soulard
cats.
real soon. Maybe strays. Maybe strays. Guys, thank you so much. Tune in tomorrow. Steve and I are taking you to Kansas City for all the cannabis news. This is Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU 920 AM. We'll see you next week.
You're listening to WGNU St. Louis, operating on 920 AM and K295CQ on 106.9 FM.
WGNU now concludes its broadcast day. We thank you so much for making us a part of